Yes, welcome back to Mobile, Alabama. Back over here with my son, my webmaster. We're going to do a recipe that we used to do quite a bit. Actually, my mother and my aunt, we used to live in Georgia, Savannah, and the peaches were great there, and she would come back in and get the really good sweet Georgia peaches. Also, my aunt lived down in Jacksonville, so they made this quite a bit. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you basically what we're going to make 2 peach pies. Right here, I've come back and sliced up the peach. We've come back in, you can see I put them in the ice box to put a little bit of sugar in them, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of nutmeg on them. Now I'm going to come back in, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, a little almond extract in it. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on it. We get that ready. We're going to come back in. We've got the oven on 350. I put 1 whole lemon in each of, and that's about 8 nice sized peaches that we put together. What we're going to do now, I've got a 1.5 cups of flour in it. We're going to put about 3/4 of a cup in each of these over here. What this does, it thickens it up a little bit. I'm going to mix it up, and then I'm going to drop about 1/2 stick of butter in each one. Everything mixed up that I was talking about the ingredients is, if you come over and take a look, you can see it's got a little thickening in it, and what we're going to do for richness, we're going to put about 1/2, and I've already cut up real unsalted butter. I'm going to put about 1/2 of a stick of butter in each of them, and when we get the pie crust made, that's all you need to do. Just dump that in the pie crust and we cook it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make the pie dough so we can come back and put them in the pans. We've got the oven at 350, but basically what I'm going to do, we're going to use a food processor. This is very easy, quick and fast to do. I have 2.5 cups of flour. I've added 2 tablespoons of sugar, a couple pinches of salt. We're going to make 2 pies. I've come back and put the 2.5 cups of flour in there. I've added my pinch of a couple pinches of sugar, a little bit of the sugar in it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start pulsing this thing, and we're going to add about 2 sticks of butter, and it's going to come back and come together. And you'll see it start coming to a ball. Instead of coming back and kneading the stuff, rolling it out, this is the easy, simple way to do it. And you can see it's kind of coming together. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of real unsalted butter in it. And if you come over and look, you can kind of see that it's starting to glutinate. Come back in, I'm going to put about 4 to 6 tablespoons of chilled water into the dough. That will thicken it up. Let me get it pulsing here. And you just slowly add it in. And you can see it's starting to bind together.
Glutinate.
Look there, you can kind of see it. And this is, I'm just trying to get it where it's held together.
Oh yeah.
So it's starting to come together, can you see?
Sure can.
And maybe just a little bit more water in it. There you go. A nice little flouring board so you don't mess up your counter. I put a little bench flour on it. I've added a little bit of flour in it, and we're going to roll it up just a little bit.
So this was the result of taking out of the food processor after you'd added butter, flour, and a little bit of cold water.
And sugar and salt in it. So now this is ready to go into the ice box for 30 minutes, and we'll roll it out and we'll make the pie dough. Taking the dough, I've cut it in half. This is going to be the bottom half here. You can see what, and this is what we like about this round, when you want it over the edges there. So when I put it in the pan, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and fold it like this. I'm going to take it and get it up here on the top. It's nice and pliable. We put it in the oven, freezer, and what's happened is the butter has come back in and it's coagulated a little bit. You just keep kind of pressing until it gets into the pan.
So on the pan you put some butter to keep it non-stick, yes?
Yeah, that's correct. All right, now we're just going to come back in and take this. Now this will be the lacing on the top.
Here.
Now we're putting some holes in it so when we bake it so it'll expand nicely. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and take a little melted butter to kind of brown it. This is going to go in the oven for about 20 minutes. We'll let it cool down, then we'll put the filling in it, and I'll put the lattice across the top, and we'll bake her up. We come back in, we put the pie in, we got a little brown here. I've got the lattice up on top. We've got our filling that goes over there, and we've got the lattice that we're going to put over the top. One of the things you want to make sure you got a lot. You can see there's quite a bit of juice in it, which is good. Now we're going to come back in, and I'm going to come back in and take this all the way across. And what you do, you come back in and you take one here, put it across there. You go up under there, back over the top. And I'll do that the rest of it. The lattice across the top, I've put the cinnamon and the nutmeg across it, put a little sugar on top. Now what? Guess what? If you're on a diet, you don't want this one, but it is so good. Anyways, now it's ready to go in the oven. We'll start at an hour. Take a look. What I'm looking for is the filling to start bubbling. When we get that out, I'll show you, okay?
1 hour at 350.